he allows you to have some flexibility and be able to do some things. You can't zero in on what he is. He's not a nickel. He's at corner. He's not a safe. Like you never know where he's at. He's just going to end up somewhere.
What about? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What about Nakai, which is what he's brought to you guys after being coming?
I think he's had a really good camp as well. I think most of those dudes have had really good camps. Again, he's everywhere. You know what I mean? Those guys are everywhere. They're interchangeable. And I think as a group we're more like a Legos, and we just kind of piece things together and get guys out there.
Moran obviously had a pretty good spring and kind of was starting to show. Obviously dealing with some other stuff. How has he been handling? I feel like as well.
Man, you want to talk about inspiring for him to have gone through what he's gone through, and he shows up and he works. And he doesn't save a whole lot. I coach football. He's living life. So it's inspirational to see that young man work.
Is that, and you hate to look at it this way, but a lot of times when tragedy happens, there can be a galvanizing force. And it's just showing that you guys had down there. It looks like everybody's not just rallying around him, but then together.
I would much rather him not have that tragedy.
You didn't get to coach him in the spring. I don't think he was on the field. What has he shown you this camp?
He's a football player. He's a football player. It means something to him. He leaves his heart and soul out there every time. I think he's a great leader. He reached back for the young dudes. Like, I can't say enough about this man here and what he has gone through and what he's still giving us even now. Like I say, I coach football. He's living life. And the cards that he's been dealt, I've seen a lot of people not play those cards, and he's doing a really good job. And it's going to be a battle for a long time for him. I just hope I'm there to support him in every way I can.
Blue, we talked about your learning the system and whatnot. How do you feel like the system's being ingrained with the players getting ready for game one? Obviously, how far along is that part?
They take it and run with it. Yeah. We present the information, they gobble it up, and they're able to go out there and make it work, breathe life into it. And that's all you can ask from those men. You show them new concepts and different plays and route concepts, and they take it and breathe life into it. So it's been awesome to see how they've grown throughout this process, as well as us coaches, how we just kind of just make it work. Yeah.
With being like a week away from the season, just what are some of the biggest areas of emphasis? What are some of the things that you guys are trying to clean up and get through to them just before the opener?
Just still, we want to make sure from a fundamental standpoint, we stay fundamentally sound. We're running to the ball, like we have effort, assignment sound, just, the small things that goes a long way as you get into these seasons.
How's Malik Spencer doing?
Malik's another guy, man. Like, I think all of those guys back there are good men in the room. Malik's doing well. He's probably another leader back there. Dylan Tatum is a leader back there that's helping us get better. Angelo Gross, I couldn't have inherited a better room from just men, and then they're great ball players, and so yeah, I think they're doing a good job.
What nickel position you've got? Angelo Gross. Who else? I assume Angelo's there.
Yeah,
if I'm wrong, but
I don't know who's there yet.
Okay.
That's the beauty of just what we have. It's going to be neck and neck, and I think whoever you put out there is going to do a really good job for you.
I know your safeties, or you coach. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you coach your safeties to have that flexibility to play some nickel against some opponents and so.
Yeah. So the nickels and the safeties, we're in the same room and we speak the same language, and sometimes this guy is not a good matchup for that guy, and we should have a matchup that we can win with those men in that room.
So Angelo would be one candidate possibly. It's nickel. Are there some others that are rolling in there?
Yeah, it's been a lot of guys. I think Nakai has played some nickel. Angelo has played some nickel. Tatum has played some nickel. Spencer has been down there playing some nickel. So it depends on what they're trying to do. It might be a Marion down there if you want to get a team that wants to just pound us. We want to put a bigger body down there. from a rule standpoint, we try to make it simple where they can digest it and be able to operate out there. Some guys, obviously, a little bit better at it, but I think you can win with any one of those combinations that you put out there.
Ask me about this, but is there any freshmen who kind of popped to the point where you're just like, we can't not get them on the field, like they gotta be out there?
No, not so much yet. I think right now for where we are, we just know it's going to be a good set of guys. And so the freshmen have been doing a really good job. Justin Denson has kind of showed up a little bit, but when they got the teachers that they have in that room and the leaders that they have like that, and you see some of those older guys, they're like invested in the success of these young men, of the younger dudes. Yeah, they make plays, they flash, they show up as a young guy because he's getting taught. Before I can get to him, Malik has him, or Tatum have coached him up. And so I'm just, by the time I get there, I'm just like, you understand? He give me the thumbs up and then we can move on.
A decent chunk of your room of guys that are like Tatum, Spencer, Gross, were all here last year and played a lot through everything that was going on. Do you see that come through in any kind of way, whether it's just their excitement or ready to turn the page, to terminate, that type of stuff?
Again,
some stuff here.
Again, like the things that these men have gone through last year, even now in life, when we hit the grass, when we're in the building, like they just find a way to They find a way to make it work. And I'm pretty sure it can get stressful outside the building. And if it becomes too stressful, they always up in our rooms, in our offices, and want to talk. And sometimes it's amazing to hear the conversations outside of football once we get up in there. And we just get an opportunity just to sit back and not really look at football. There's some funny dudes now.
What has stood out to you
most about recruiting the Midwest?
It's a lot of ball players in a short radius. There's some ball players. And so sometimes you end up at some schools that you got to get on a plane to go find some players. Just put some gas in the car. You'll find a couple real close.
One more thing, if I could. The most recent scrimmage, what were you looking to get done that day, and how did it turn out?
I thought it turned out well. I was looking for 40 picks. I didn't get that. But I thought it went well. I think the guys just kind of settling in and kind of, you can always tell because the disguise is a little bit better. The urgency is a little bit better. The communication is a little bit better. And so if you go out there and you close your eyes, you just hear a bunch of chatter. And so I know we're on the right path now because guys are starting to, and you can hear how confident they are and how they communicate.
The season being so close to starting?
Well, for me, it's just another day to get better. So we just got to continue to push the guys. I know we have a game coming up, but there's still a lot of things we got to cover, a lot of things we got to do. So we just keep pushing them and try to get better on a day in, day out
You're
basis.
Michigan State Spartan now, but how much of your past coaching experience with Coach Smith is being infused into this new team right now?
I think every year you kind of rebuild the team. Okay. You kind of have a different perspective in terms of coaching, things you want to emphasize. So I think we've kind of all becoming Spartans at the same time, that new brand of ball. And so it's been awesome. It's been awesome to see us kind of melt together and to produce a new brand of ball, Spartan ball.
Going off that a little bit, we're learning what Joe Rossi wants and how he runs things. Just how's that whole process gone for you?
Man, it's good, man. You want to talk about being around a coach that's a ball coach, a football mind. Like he has the answers. So it's always nice just to kind of sit back and just see how he comes up with the plan, his adjustments off, with the plan. So from that aspect, it's been awesome to work with Coach Rossi and see how his defense has been so successful.
Hawkins was saying like it's almost kind of a fun challenge for guys like in your profession to learn a new system.
Absolutely.
To stretch your mind in like a different way. Is that
Absolutely.
Have you experienced it too?
Yeah. I mean, you've been around the ball. If you've been around ball a lot, there's so many ways of getting it done. Sometimes, you can kind of get caught in your way. But as long as you have open mind, you can always learn. And I think that's probably been the biggest challenge for me and the most exciting for me is just opening up my mind, allowing new philosophy, allowing new techniques, and just ways of getting it done. And so I'm adding to my coaching resume.
So how's your group look?
We're working. It's always a work in progress. Some days are better than others, but we continue to try to get better on a day in, day out basis.
With Dylan, has he settled on a position yet, or do you kind of?
I think he's a DB, you know. And so the good thing about those guys are so interchangeable, and you know you have some guys with different skill sets. So I just think that's the strength of who we are on the back end right now. You're going to always get the best out there, even if that guy's playing another position. So that's always good when you got guys with flexibility.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how much that flexibility maybe helps with different. You know, Mead was talking about being able to have different packages at the cornerback, but man, a guy like Dylan, you know, depending on if you want to shut him outside, shut him down.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, he's a ball player now. He's a ball player, so he allows you to have some flexibility and be able to do some things. You can't zero in on what he is. He's not a nickel. He's at corner. He's not a safe. You never know where he's at. He's just going to end up somewhere.